In this video, we're going to add some detail to the 3 plan details on sheet A303. So the first detail we'll work on is this one in the lower right corner. So I'm going to go up to the floor plan details here, precast call out 1. This one is call out number 2. Okay, and then I will zoom to fit so I can see the entire detail. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is, you'll notice that the pile cap is showing and it's below the ground level. So what we need to do is turn on the topography. So in this view, I'm going to scroll down till we get to the visibility graphics, and by default, topography is turned off. I'll check that so it is turned on. Okay, so now they're below here, but they're not going to be visible in the view. So this detail shows an outside corner condition for EFIS. So here we have this rigid insulation, or sort of the polystyrene insulation board, polystyrene insulation board, and the mesh that forms the base for the synthetic stucco. We also have an air and water barrier, but keep in mind with our detail, we've included a drainage mat. So we'll include the air and water barrier, but the same way we did in the section, it'll be behind that drainage mat. So these are the things that we're going to be adding along with some of the framing to form the corner. So the first thing that I will do is show the air and water barrier. So I'm going to go to where it says detail line here. I'll look for that hidden 332nd-3 line type. And I'm going to place this detail line on, now it may not let me place it at that corner because of the wall joint. I'm not sure. I'm going to back up a little bit and place it. Oh, now it's letting me pick a few points. I may have to kind of make some adjustments to it. Once I get it in place, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to move it out so it's got a little space and is visible. And I'll put another line in the same location, but on the south wall. Come in, it's fine. Move it. And then I'll join those two lines. Okay, let's try this tool here, not the join tool, but the one that allows you to trim and extend a corner. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing we'll do is we'll add the mesh for the EFIS. So I'm going to change my line type, and I'm also going to try to get a little bit closer to this detail to sort of show that there is a sort of double layer of the mesh in here. So we won't be doing a detail quite as large as this, but we'll try to simulate basically what you see here. So going to annotate detail line, and I will use the hidden 1/16-2 layer that I created. I'm going to click here and extend this about 6 inches in, and then I'm going to move this one. We're going to try 1/2 an inch for this, so we can have enough room to get in the other line for the mesh that covers the majority of the material. So again, I'm going to come over here 6 inches. Looks like I did that 6 feet. Let's go 6 inches instead. Six inches. And I will then move it up. Make sure I'm capturing the right element here. I'm going to make a window around it. Let's try to move it that way. So it's trying to capture the whole wall assembly. So again, 0.5 inches. And I will use the modify extend trim to bring those together. And then I'm going to make a copy of that, with this line here. Click on it, copy, 0.25 inches. And this one, I'm going to extend to the corner, or to the extent of the prop window. And I'll make a copy of this one, same thing, inches. Let's click on it, and drag it. And join those two together. Okay, I'll also add some metal studs. So you should have them already loaded into your project. Okay, and our wall is 6 inches. So I'll just start to place one at the end here. And as I've been doing before, I'll just move it up graphically to a little space so it shows up. And you can make copies of this at 16 inches on center. I think only one will fit in this particular view, and I'm going to add one here and repeat that process. Okay, there it is. I'm going to rotate it. And I'll move it into position. In this direction, I was able to get 4 of them within that crop window. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another line on top of my wall here so that we have a similar line weight. It's not exactly the same, but it looks a little funny with that corner being heavier than the rest of the wall. Okay, that's it for that detail. For the precast call out number 1 detail, which is at the column, if we had some interior finish that we were applying to these surfaces, this is where we would add it, but we're going to leave that exposed. The remaining detail is the ceiling plan detail. So I'm going to go up to the ceiling plans and go to this particular detail. There is a shifting direction little graphic here, and we don't really need to see this for our detail. So I'm going to right click, hide it, and hide that element in the view. And does it for this one as well. Not a lot to do with this, with these details. The remaining work will be to add the annotations and get this drawing better ready for a final print.